Talk 99.5, Danny Knowles is with the KnowlesGroup.com, Noles, the Knowles Group. Man, it's one of those days on the market. I tell you all the time, I look at the daily close, but they're looking long term. You think about it, if you're managing your own money and you see a 953 point drop in the Dow in one day, you start getting spooked, you sell everything. Watch it. Tomorrow it'll go up 2,000. When you're playing the long term trends, though, because you got the analytical evidence from history to back you up and guide your decisions, it's a smarter strategy. It takes the emotion out of it. It's math. That's all money is. When it's all said and done, it's math. It's adding and subtraction. In some cases, multiplication and division. And the folks at the Knowles Group, my lifelong friend Danny and his team, are ready to help you work that stuff out. Sometimes you can, with just one visit, change everything. I've got listeners that are retired that had their money placed elsewhere, and their best compliment was he gave me a pay raise. I had the same amount of money, but now it's producing more with a better return and less pass-through management stuff that's effective. I've got people that started out that got wiped out and had to start over and didn't have much, and that quote was, "We only had $50,000. Danny treated us like we had 50 million." I was like, that's my friend. That's how he's always been. He's just an even keel, straightforward guy. And knowledgeable and experienced, and that's exactly who you want in your corner when it comes to your long-term investing. It's the Knowles Group. If you want to hear how they think and learn something yourself, you're bopping around on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon, they've got a show that we run here on the station, Understanding Your Money, or Understanding Money, I think is the exact title. And it's a really good show. Sometimes I'll catch it and go. I mean, it's amazing to me to hear the sons of my friend tell me stuff I didn't know. Like, those boys are pretty smart. Understanding Money on the weekends. It's the KnowlesGroup.com, the KnowlesGroup.com. Let's go to Ireland for a minute. This story seems to have legs. It started yesterday. I found out more about it today. It's even more disgusting than we thought yesterday. We had this horrifying video of what we now know is a Sudanese immigrant trying to cut a guy's head off in the street, sawing on his neck, stabbed him in the eyes. The guy, I think, has survived so far. And then we hear more of the background of this story, but between these two, I'm like, well, what? For 2 seconds, I'm like, well, that's barbaric, and expect exactly what you'd expect from some of these immigrants that are coming here doing it, because these aren't the first. They actually have a name for them. They call them the stabby bastards. The stabby immigrants, and there are other names I can't say on the radio. And it's all over Europe. It's the same thing: blades, knives, stabbing incidents, assaults. These people are coming from barbaric third world cultures, and they do not get along with people from Western civilization. They just don't. They don't hear. Some do, most don't. And it's the whole point. The globalists want to crash these societies with barbarians and wreck them, period. It's not a cynical view. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's their words, their statements, their conferences. I've listened to the speeches. It's their plan, and they've been doing it for decades. Well, the Irish have had enough, at least some of them. And after this incident yesterday, we've now got a second night of, I guess you just straight call it riots and protests in the streets of Belfast and around the area. They're blocking roads. They're throwing what they call over there petrol bombs. Those are Molotov cocktails. Last night they were burning people out of their homes. Nobody wants to see death or violence, but it looks like it's like Civil War stuff where the country doesn't trust its government anymore, and they're taking, again, it's their own government that has backstabbed them and allowed this kind of savagery in their lives. They didn't have this in their lives. If you look at the rape statistics and assaults and stabbings and murders, none of that existed before this immigration wave. It wasn't part of their society at all. And the Irish are a fierce people. The Irish and the Scots, notoriously fierce for thousands of years. The Romans never even got north of Hadrian's Wall. They couldn't handle them. They fought them off and kept them out of their part of the world. Then a lot of their relatives took off, and their ancestors came here, settled in the Appalachians, and it's where a lot of Southerners trace their heritage too. There's an excellent book about this whole subject called Born Fighting. It's written by a guy named Jim Wright. He used to be I think he was undersecretary for the Navy under Reagan, but a Democrat. I mean, he's a Democrat from West Virginia. But he wrote a whole book about that culture and that heritage and how it translated into the South here in America, the Southerners are the most voluntary of all the people groups in America in terms of defending the country and signing up to be in the military. Very fierce folks. You don't want to mess with them. And these people have sat back and taken it. They've gone through all kind of economic troubles in this part of the world. Ireland has never been a wealthy nation at all. You might find some old castles from the 700s, but Ireland has gone through the Irish famine and economic troubles left and right. They've tried to reinvigorate tourism, and that's been helping. They had their own troubles between each other with Northern Ireland and Main Ireland, and some of y'all know all that history. But now those groups are getting together. There's something about this incident, and again, for us, it's kind of new. For them, this is the umpteenth stabbing attack, assault, where they don't feel like justice is being meted out, or they're just tired of living with it. For example, they arrested the Sudanese guy. I guess he'll spend some time, but their point is, and they're saying their phrase over there is Ireland is for Irish. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with Italy wanting to be Italy? Seriously, call it nationalist, whatever. America's a little different because we've always been an amalgam of people groups, but these people have distinct cultures. Germans are very different. Right over the border, Germans are very different than the Italians. And then you go over there to those little sissies in France next door to Germany, whole different culture, different language, different traditions, customs, ways of life, topography. That's how the world was organized. And now it's being wrecked on purpose by these globalists that want all that to go away. Why? Because these Western Europeans are a resistant group. They're not compliant. They've never been compliant. They won't go along with these globalist plans. You have to dilute that. You have to bring them to their knees internally. That's why you got 20 million of them here too. That's why you've got people groups that are settled in mass in places like Minnesota with all the Somalians. That was Barack Obama. He brought 80,000 Somalians into this country, settled them in Minnesota, and now you see what they've done in Minnesota. There has to be assimilation in any country, not just ours. Any country, when people groups come in and bring their ways to your ways, the two have to blend, and that can be beautiful. Hell, I saw it last night on a SEC football field. You got people from South America and all over the world that are soccer fans going to a Southern football stadium, and the Southerners couldn't wait to roll out the red carpet for them and show them how we do it. They couldn't wait to teach us about soccer, and it was just cool to watch. Cultures can do that. That's just a cultural event, not a whole nation trying to live side by side. But the Irish have damn had enough. So I don't know how far this goes. Generally, this stuff runs out of steam. People are angry. They get in the streets. Then it's over. Then we move on as cultures. But they've had so much of it, and they've become to the point where they've thrown their hands up against their own government. They can't get relief from their own government. And there's a warning in that for the United States, and I'm about to transition to that. So just listen to me. Try not to be too preachy today, but this stuff's serious. You better watch what's happening in Ireland and parts of the United Kingdom right now, because it's going to wind up here if things don't change. And it's not just that people are pissed about the violence being brought from violent parts of the world into their peaceful parts of the world. We got indigenous violence here that's hard to handle. But we've got the situation over there. Here's the backstory that made it even worse. When I heard this today, I went, hell, I kind of want to go over there and throw some rocks with them. This guy that was stabbed and almost had his head cut off in the street was special needs. He was 47 years old, and he was typical of people with those disabilities, exceedingly friendly. Probably didn't have the best social cues. He lived in the same either building or block with this Sudanese barbarian, with this animal that was trying to kill him in the street. And 4 days before this incident, he was helping the guy move in. The government in Ireland moved this Sudanese guy in on these people. And our special needs guy, and I don't have his name, went over and asked him what could he do to help. 4 days later, he's flat on his back getting his neck chopped by what they call a Stanley knife by this maniac from Africa. So hell yeah, they've exploded in the streets. Even though there's been an arrest, they don't trust their own government to stop what's happening. and then affect deportation so that people can be separated. They just want to go back to being Irish people living in their way according to their custom. I will say this as an American traveler, when I go to countries overseas, I want to see that country. I don't even want to see other American tourists. I don't want to be in the tourist traps. I don't want to see a bunch of immigrants hanging around the train stations begging for money and harassing people, which you can see all over Europe. I just want to see how the other half lives. I want to see their history and their old buildings and eat their food and listen to their stories. When that goes away, we don't have that anymore. We don't have that experience. And it is happening to the point where there's a breaking point in Ireland right now. We're just going to have to watch it. How does that relate to us? What's happened to the Irish, and I've done a lot of reading on this since last night, especially when I found out the background of this story. I mean, who in the hell does this to a special needs person? Kind of sick bastard goes into a country that gave you refuge and wants to slaughter somebody in the street like that. I'll say this. I don't know that the guy's a Muslim because I don't have his background, but it's right there in their holy text. It is right there in the text. My blade shall be against their neck. He might have just had an argument over Allah. And that justified, in some cultures, cutting somebody in half. And if you believe God says it's okay, who cares what the Irish government thinks or all those pasty white, redheaded people? So the problem with the Irish right now is that they've lost trust that their government is listening to them. And we've gotten to that point in this country a couple of times during COVID, during the stupidity of the BLM riots, during dumb situations where judges think they're the president, during watching a city like Los Angeles, the size of Los Angeles, steal a mayor's race by manufacturing votes through a legalized rigged system. What they're doing is, according to the laws they set up, they set them up so they could do this. We watch a city like New York put a communist in their mayor's office. That was unheard of in the 80s. You would have gotten run out of the country for even suggesting that. During the Cold War, are you kidding? In this country, a commie, the mayor of New York City? I mean, some small town in Iowa, we'd still say hell no. New York City put a child in charge of that city who has no knowledge, no experience, and perverted ideas about how life ought to be. And the city will suffer for it. But when you sit back in mainstream America and you see these things falling apart and you've seen another country that was better than this, you start to lose hope that your voice matters at all. If elections can be stolen, crises can be manufactured like COVID, hell, like January 6th, like these other things, like when you got a hate group funding the hate so they can raise more money. I mean, nothing seems real anymore. Nothing seems trustworthy. And you better damn hope that mainstream Americans don't lose all faith that their government's going to do something about this, that their government still believes in the Constitution itself, that it has to answer to them or us. If you take that away from people, then all hell breaks loose. And all hell is breaking loose right now in Ireland. It has broken loose just the last couple of weeks in the United Kingdom. Again, I don't know that it can be sustained. Again, these things burn out. But unless the authorities there can reassure people that this is going to be addressed in some way, they have to have an immediate stop of the importations, and there needs to be mass deportation in these cultures. Let me say this, call it cynical or negative. I don't care. I don't care. I'm that old now. I don't give a damn. It'll never assimilate. It'll never get better. These people are bringing traditions and values that are centuries old, and they're not going to change. They're not trying to change. They're crashing into these cultures and demanding things and taking things, and they do not have any semblance that they want to acquiesce or get along. They don't even care. And social media is driving it. Stupidity is driving it. And it's the petri dish for what happens eventually here is happening over there. They're probably 4 or 5 years ahead of us. There are just as many people in this damn country that are as pissed off as those Irish people, and they've had enough. We got a little reprieve right now because we got a new president. We voted him in 2 times, 3 times on the same issue that's too much. I mean, it's too much at once to bring this many people in and cause this kind of shock to our system, much less the financial drain and the deaths and the DUIs and the crash trucks and the murders. We've had enough too, but we're a big country, and something happens in California, and we don't get as worked over about it after a little while. The good news is the border's closed here. We're not bringing them in anymore. We have no crossings since Trump shut the border down. Well, there have been legal crossings. We've had no detentions. They're not coming in at 5,000 a day. Do you know how many people would be here? ICE just got funded in full for 3 years. They can now go to work in a meaningful way with thousands of new hires to get these people the hell out. Planes, skateboards, donkeys, I don't care. Get them out. And as they do that, the problem starts to alleviate a little bit. Whoever's left, if they can justify staying here, then assimilation could probably take place. But here's the bad news. Trump ain't going to be the president in 2.5 years. And I don't even see a single Republican, even Rubio, who I like, that will have the fierceness and the tenacity to continue to fight off the globalists and their organized efforts to restart this engine and make this start happening again. It has to happen now, and it has to happen fast, and there has to be some follow-up. Those wimps in the Congress won't codify any of this. They haven't really put anything meaningful behind any of this except for the funding for that, for the deportations and for ICE. So keep an eye on these IRS because it's sad. I don't want my country to descend into that. We got to be able to trust that elections are fair, SAVE Act, that we're not going to get bombarded by other cultures, the border wall and deportations, that our vote counts, that the courts are fair and just. They don't answer to a mob outside the courthouse. That's good if they don't do that, if they just do what we do, have our trials, mete out the payment, the justice, and the penalty, and we move on as a society after to the next trial, to the next thing. We managed to do that for 250 years. I would dare say it's about 200 years longer than our own founders thought we could make it. They didn't think free people could handle all this freedom. I'm starting to think they were right. Back in a minute. Y'all work trucks bringing you the show tonight. They got your business trucks down there, big old honking get it done trucks, whether it's a box truck or one of those big giant dually flatbeds or the smaller flatbeds, the pickups, the outfitted service trucks with the service bodies and tool bodies and ladder racks and all those things. Y'all as work trucks, they go out and find these things pre-owned from the lease market. Now, leased vehicles have all this paperwork attached. You got to treat it when you lease one, especially the big companies, they treat them lightly. They just rotate them through and they'll go lease another batch. Bubba and his team will find these and find other sales of these kind of trucks, get them all the way back to Birmingham. You don't get to see them when they get here because they're going to take them back in the shop, go through them 125 points, and then they put them on the lot. So you can rest assured the vetting's been done, the miles are low, the truck's as new can be, but you save a lot of money because they're pre-owned. The depreciation is done. It's called work trucks. Again, vans of all shapes, sizes, cargo and passenger, chassis, cab chassis, setups if you just need the cab and the chassis. And if they don't have it, they'll find it for you. It's a cool shop and a cool team of people too. Tell Bubba I said, hey, when you get down there, it's Work Trucks, TRUX, Work Trucks, LLC.com. Back to the Irish thing for just a minute. And if this thing goes on for a few more days, it becomes a bigger and bigger story. In the moment, you've got these protesters out in the middle of some of these motorway, larger roads, not just street level protesters. And the Irish police have whipped out the water cannons. Man, I wish we'd do water cannons. I mean, all I got to do is go tap, and like 5 or 6 people just go, they just go away. But they're not as aggressive with those here in the United States. Not that I'm kind of pulling for the protesters here. I don't know that they're going to accomplish a whole lot, but I understand their rage. But it's a pretty effective strategy. And I just watched a video of them clearing a road with these things. Then the question becomes, how heavy will the Irish government crack down on these indigenous protests, and what will be the fallout from that? So you've already got a disgruntled republic. You got a rebellion on your hands. You're on the verge of an internal civil war. And don't forget, the Irish just really came off of basically would only be described as a civil war between the Protestants and the Catholics back through the 80s. And they referred to it, they called it the Troubles. I just read a story about there was a famous street in Belfast called Crumbly Street. And one side of that street, it's the dividing line in the community between Protestants and Catholics. And during the civil wars that they had, you'd get killed if you crossed into the other side. Well, they just did a ceremonial getting together along Crumbly Street. They know what that means. We don't know much about it. What they're saying is what we have in common as Irishmen is much more than what we don't. It's time to defend our country. We'll see where this goes. Back in a minute. All right, it's 3:35. Leland live on a sweltering day. Let me see what the official. Usually, we're hitting the peak of the heat this time of the day. It's a little over 90 degrees. Some of y'all are hitting 91, 92 degrees. Feels like I'm glad they quit calling that the heat index because that makes more sense. Feels like 97. High today, supposed to official high is 92. Here comes summertime. Rain is back on Sunday, and it starts another wet pattern, which could be several inches of rain over a good portion of the state again, just day after day of it. Good luck. If you got stuff you need to get done outside, go ahead and try to do it while you can. Let me see what else we want to get into. Let's go back to Iran for a minute. Still haven't heard any reporting of additional bombing. Trump made a definitive statement today that we're going to have to hit him again today, saying that he's had enough. They keep what he called tapping. He said, every time we think we've got a deal, everything's on paper. We're going through these intermediaries. Turkey's working on it. Some of the Arab states are working on it. Pakistan's trying to get Iran to come along. Iran goes and does something to blow it up. I was listening to some analysis today about that. One of their leaders, one of their recent foreign ministers, actually, has just written a book a while back before all this hostility started. And it was about their negotiating strategy. And it's exactly what they're doing. So maybe Trump's team should read that book. The Iranians should read Art of the Deal and understand how it works, because you've got two cultures that come at it from just historically a completely different approach to the way you go back and forth with people. So Trump seems frustrated that they won't just negotiate a peace. You got to give him credit that he tried something other than all-out war. But if we have to escalate, I, for one, I'm fine with it. If we got to go back and finish and do anything that would help those people rise up and topple that regime, it's the right thing to do. We had a caller yesterday, and I understood his points. He's real frustrated with the whole thing. Some people are just mad about the inflation and the gas prices. The gas prices have now caused inflation to uptick in the consumer goods. That's not good if you're looking at things completely through a political lens, which is how the midterms going to go. It's important. You don't want to lose them, because then the maniacs are back in charge and will use whatever chamber they control to harass the Trump administration all the way out the door until we get to the next election. And again, if any of this stuff is to have any maturity, if it's actually going to stay in place, any of these reforms, the cleanups, I mean, these people are so vindictive. I was thinking about this morning. They're liable to go pour algae back into the reflecting pool on the mall. They hate clean sidewalks. They're going to get cans of paint and go spray paint MFer on the side of the Columbus Circle statue just because Trump cleaned it up. That's how manic they've become. Don't forget that in the early days of this administration, these a-holes are out firebombing people in their Teslas and defending it for driving a freaking car brand that they didn't like. So, yeah, they're subject to do anything. They're nominating Nazis, commies, wannabe socialists. Yeah, they'll go and undo everything that's been happening. Now, speaking of the reflecting pool, let me get this story in here. Thought this was pretty cool. Trump invited the crews that worked on the reflecting pool that got it done in short order, $10 million. That was it. And he invited them into the White House today to do a little photo op and get a signed hat. I'm sure they were those red hats. He should have signed their hard hats. That would have been funnier. So here are these blue-collar working-class guys that know how to pressure wash and fix leaky pools that did a good job. Again, the story isn't just the aesthetics of what color the bottom of it is. By the way, it looks better than I thought it would. I wasn't sure what the blue would look like, but it actually reflects like the waters around the Capitol in the tidal basin and the Potomac. When you look at a wide shot of it, it looks really nice. And if you'd have painted too light a color, you'd have had all kind of junk on the bottom of it. Tourists throw things in there, leaves get in there. It'd be like cleaning a real bright, light blue swimming pool at home where there's constant maintenance. The color will hide some stuff, and it still has to be maintained. But this damn thing was leaking 45,000 gallons a day of water was just going out of it. And instead of fixing it, these morons came up with an idea of piping in water from the tidal basin, organic water with wildlife and biology in it, into the reflecting pool and turned the thing into a gigantic slimy green Jello mold.
I mean, it was a human-made fishing pond.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
cement pond, to be honest with you. The Beverly Hillbillies could have done a better job.
Is that some of that good old reflecting water fish?
Hey, Granny, you want to go down to the cement pond and see if we can catch us some old used condoms and a pack of cigarettes? That's all that'd be floating around in there. It was nasty.
Just push that dead body over there. Just push that to the side. That homeless man that's taking a bath in there, you know.
Who's that guy that? I'm sorry, I'm blanking out now. Oh, there's Vince Foster. Remember that guy that Hillary offed and they pretended like he killed himself?
Uh-huh.
Damn. I wonder if they, when they did drain it, I wonder what they really did find. Somebody's got to do that story. So these guys, these regular Joes with pot bellies and blue collar, attitudes, got in there. They drained the thing. They fixed the leaks. They painted the thing. They put the water back, and it's gorgeous. They did it for $10 million in a matter of weeks. There's nothing controversial about that.
Well, I mean, I probably could have done that for like $5,000, and then
Me and you, we go down there with like a shop vac and try
yeah, and maybe give me a lifetime one of those. Ooh, I can get one of them golden McDonald cards I used to give out back in the day.
What do you mean a golden McDonald's card?
It's like it was like if you paid this amount of money, you get like unlimited like McDonald's for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, that's how you would want to be paid in McDonald's.
Give me $5,000 in that. I got you.
AJ would have cleaned the whole thing.
Heck yeah.
That's
and then ain't got to worry about food like that.
I'd have taken the $10 million, but I could have worked it out.
Well, I mean, it's taxpayers' money. I ain't want to take all their money.
We got to do is hire a bunch of these Mexicans before Tom Homan gets them. Clean that thing up, and then andale.
Hey, Tom. Hey.
Paco,
Hey,
yeah.
let me just
You
get a couple of these
gotta
guys real quick, man.
You hire them. As soon as they get done, call Homan. He deports them on a bus. You ain't even got to pay them.
Hey, get on that bus. We got your check right in there. Go ahead, go up there and get that real quick.
Remember that comedian that said that? He's a Mexican comedian. He goes, yeah, I understand you want to build a wall, but who the hell is going to build the wall? He said, you're going to get us to build the wall? And then this guy was like, yeah, I tell you what, now that you're done with the wall, go paint the other side of it. When the Mexican side needs some paint. Yeah, so he cleaned it up and he invited those guys in. So here's some regular Joes that got to go to the White House and hang out at the White House after doing an amazing job. And remember, it's all kind of layers of stupidity. So one, previous administrations, all the way back to before Obama had attempted to fix it, had spent over $30 million and did not fix it. They made it worse. And then the bureaucracy was telling them, it's going to be, what was it? It was like, it's going to be $2 billion. Everything's in billions now with the government. It's going to be $2 billion and take us 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
These guys did it in like 6 weeks. They drained it. They fixed it. They painted it. They filled it back up. Job done. Then they're standing in the Oval Office ready for the next project. It's called competence. Washington's unfamiliar with competence. It shocks them. I was talking about this yesterday. They walk by and say, oh, that got done? Next thing you're going to tell me is there are aliens living among us under the oceans. And Kennedy was killed by its own government. Anyway, so yeah, cool story about them getting inside there. What was I ranting about before that? I can't remember. I'm just in space right now. I'm already gold bricking. I've got some vacation coming up in a couple of weeks, and I've already forgotten how to do this.
You were like, wait a minute, what am I doing here? Who am I?
Now part of it is preps for to get out of town and just all the crap that's going on at the house, and trying to engineer this show. AJ, I'm going to host and engineer this show. I came up with you're going to like this. For the TV cameras when we're doing the Out West shows, I came up with a wireless setup. You and I have done this one time.
Right.
We did it during the BP spill. When, remember Charles Ellen had called in, I went down and covered the BP spill from the beach.
I remember.
And I put a wireless ears in and a wireless mic and took off and went out onto the beach. Of course, we didn't have cameras back then. But I just wanted to be able to get out there close to where the oil was coming. It was literally rolling up that day. That was a good moment. That was the first year of the show. So, AJ, I got wireless now. If I get in front of the robot camera, I think I'm going to be free. I can just move around. The camera should follow me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can do walk and talk.
So you can be like, hey, come over here. The camera follow me real quick as we walk down this street. You should get you one of those drones that.
I got one, but it doesn't send a live picture.
Oh, I know, but you should
get
one of those that could just follow you. That'd be kind of cool.
Now I'm gonna start working on that tonight. I've got one that takes photos, those that kind of follow you around if you're running or whatever. But it does. I don't know that it will transmit into the live show.
Nah, it probably won't. Not. It's got to be one of them higher grade ones that probably can do that because I know they have the technology for it.
I've spent more in gear for this trip than Cumulus has spent on this radio station in 5 years. I got more equipment than they do now. I'm ready to go. Dude, I got satellite uplinks. I got hotspot uplinks. I got redundancy. I got 2 of everything. I'm ready to go. Got a green screen wall now for the inside of the mobile unit. I'm ready to go.
Man, you ready to make this thing happen?
I'm going to get on there with my wireless mic, ride a bull.
No, I'm not going to do that. Please don't do that. Don't be those reporters like, broadcasting here at the, what was that, Amarillo steak place. And then, let's check out this bull real quick as we get ready to eat a 72-ounce steak.
That'd be the end of the show.
Yeah, please don't do that.
No, not going to do it.
Yeah.
Not going to do it. All right, Michelson Laser Vision. Let's talk about them for a minute. It's good being able to see when you hit the road like this, too. And I'm still 2015. It's been going on 7 years, y'all. I'm not even making that up. It's been 7 years of 2015 vision. There are some days lately, if I'm going to be real with the audience, when I'm like late at night, I think my eyes are just tired from all the screen reading, when it seems like I'm needing a little more reading help. So I'm going to go get checked again. And I've told y'all before, if I ever aged out of the correction that I got 7 years ago and I needed to get recorrected, I would do it. I would do it in a minute. It's that life-changing. And, as far as the expense, there's some expense involved, but it's not any more than the money I would have spent in the last 7 years on new glasses, contacts, doctor visits every year. I was spending so much money on contacts and solution and all this stuff. There's expense either way. This is just a whole lot more freeing. It is Michelson Laser Vision. You're dealing with a legendary practice. Brought the first laser to Alabama back in the late 80s. Been ahead of everybody since. And they've got the latest iteration or generation of laser that can fix almost anything. Michelson Laser Vision, downtown UAB Highlands, michelsonlaservision.com. Man, Tommy over at Hueytown Pawn just texted me. It was good timing because I was just about to talk about Hueytown Pawn. He got me right on time today. Sent me 3 pictures of some new AR stuff that they've gotten in. These are dude, I'm going to wind up buying one of these. I just know me. I know me. The AR-12s. This is a 12-gauge shotgun. It's got the styling of an AR. AJ, he has got these extra long magazines for them. They're sort of banana style. They hold 19 shotgun shells. They got a name for them. They call them something that starts with donkey. I can't tell you the rest of it. They kind of curl out from the gun. If you ever just wanted to look like you were straight out of a militia from the Congo or something like that, this is what you want right here. AR-12s. Now, here's the fun part. They got a bunch of them in that desert color. That'd be the color I'd get. If I had, man, he's going to sell all these. I bet he'll get more in when I get back, but I'm about to hit the road and I can't get down there. But these are well priced. They're always well priced. And I'll have to reach out to him and make sure I got the right price on these because sometimes they will change. But let me ask him. All I got to do is watch this. He'll do it live. How much? I think they were $279 the first time he ran specials on these. And y'all cleaned him out. And it was the desert color that went first. They're just cool. I can hear people right now going,
why would you need one of those things?
You don't need it. You just want one. Or maybe some of y'all live in rough areas. I don't know. It's basically the ergonomics with the magazine-fed action on it and the collapsible stock and the stylings with the railing systems where you can mount things. I don't know what you'd need to. I could see somebody putting a scope on a shotgun, but still, there it is. Y'all see them at Hueytown Pawn on Brook Lane Drive. Hueytown Pawn. I'll take some calls and see if he gets back with me on the price on those things. Y'all are going to want one if you saw a picture of it. Where do we start? I think it's Richard DeCopp next. What's up, Richard DeCopp?
Brother, if you're going to have anybody ride a bull, let it be Dixon. He won't be missed like you.
Oh, look out now. Don't be saying that about my brother in the morning.
You don't want to end up like Dr. Bill Lawson if you were around in Birmingham when that happened.
Did he ride a bull? I know him. I met him a few times.
He got messed up bad.
When it threw him, what happened? Did it stomp him?
No, I think he got trampled.
He got what?
He got thrown. I think he was doing it at a rodeo, some kind of event.
Yep.
The ZZK was sponsoring.
Yep.
And I think he got trampled, and he got killed. But boy, he got trampled.
Stomped him into 50 cents, Bill Lawson. He was
pretty much, or $1.50 minus $3.50. Something happened. But
I've only met him a couple times, and he was a total gentleman back when I got a chance to meet him. But a radio legend here in Birmingham. I didn't know he did that stunt though.
Yeah, that's probably early 90s. It's back when he was on ZZK with Patty after Doc passed away.
Yep.
Before Rick and Bubba took the station over. And I'm telling you, and you're teasing me with those AR-12s, man.
Dude, okay.
I rode by there today and looked at one and went, no.
This is going to make it worse on you. This is going to make it worse, Richard, because Tommy just got back with me. He said they're $279.99 for the AR-12 and $39.99 for the mag, if you want the extended African militia mag. I mean, the only time I ever see them.
My divorce.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Richard. The only time I ever see a long banana mag like that is either a Vietnam movie or some tribal situation that's going on overseas. Nobody walks around with those things. I'd be afraid I'd hook it on everything. But if you want to step out and go, I got 19. Nobody. That is a street sweeper right there.
If done right.
I like your attitude about that. Yes, if done properly. Now that color's cool though. I like that color. Charlene, what's up, girl?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well.
Have you talked about all the things Donald Jr. and Eric Trump is involved in as far as these UFC ticket events and Freedom 250 gold and silver medallions?
What have you been reading? Let's hear it. What are you on to, Charlene? This will be the second time today somebody's giving me a scoop. What's up, Charlene? What you got?
Yeah, they are selling silver and gold Freedom 250 medallions. Of course, they have their dad's pictures on them.
Of course.
And And the price of them range from $249 to almost $12,000 for the gold.
Well, it depends on how heavy they are. I'd have to get my man over at Alabama Gold Refinery to tell me about the value. What do they weigh?
This is wild.
Are you going to buy one, Charlene?
Hell no.
You wouldn't wear one
I
around.
can barely afford gas.
You could be like Mr. T, man. You put some big gold chains, put a Trump
I can hardly
medallion
afford
on.
gas. However, isn't this illegal? Isn't it corruption?
How?
Because it's going directly back to the Trump organization.
Well, if they're doing it on the private sector, people do that all the time. They make money off T-shirts and hats, and yeah, they can do that. As long as the government's not paying for any of it.
Don't you think the optics are kind of bad, though?
No, considering everything else that's going on in the world right now, I don't think anybody really gives a damn about this. Now I kind of want one.
I do.
Well, I bet you do.
Because
we
can afford. We can't afford gas.
Okay, let's poll Charlene. What do you think about the UFC fight?
Come on.
What do you think about the UFC fight?
It's stupid as hell.
What do you think about cleaning up the reflecting pool?
That's cool.
Okay, all right. We see Charlene and I have things in common. We both like that.
That's cool, but I'm just saying, couldn't you use more money? Couldn't you in the East ballroom was stupid.
That's really not. That's actually an underground bunker to secure the White House. And Trump had the idea, why don't we improve and put the ballroom on top of it? That's really a good plan, as evidenced by the guy that tried to shoot up the big event.
Who was going to pay for it? Let's say this. He said that
he has gathered together a crap ton. The military's paying for the basement part because it's a military facility. Private donations are paying for the upper part. Have you ever been to Europe, Charlene?
Where do the military get their money from?
Me and you, or me at least. I know I pay them a lot of money.
Okay, that's not free.
Putting a bunker under the White House to secure our seat of government is a smart idea. When it's already under there, the whole Obama administration, they were digging under the White House building these bunkers.
I could care less about what Obama did.
I know what I'm saying. It's just an ongoing security project.
And what he's doing right now,
Charlene,
it's
an ongoing security project.
In Europe.
Charlene, we can go back and forth. I don't mind you talking, but let's talk together, okay?
Okay. You asked earlier, have I been to Europe? Yes, I have.
Okay.
Several times.
So when you go there, these guys and the Saudis and these other rich nations, when we project power and host state events, the White House is too small. You can't get a lot of people in there, and it's highly insecure anywhere else in town. So this is both secure. It makes us look better as a nation. More people can attend these things now if there's a bigger place to hold a function. Every president that's ever been in the White House has done things. Obama put up a basketball court. Nixon put in a bowling alley. Everybody's had it. Everybody has a touch that they'll put on the White House. President is completely authorized, and this is the first president that did it with private money.
Okay. All right. And okay, let me ask you one other question because you're so knowledgeable.
We only got 45 seconds. Go.
If you were president, how would you end this war?
I would bomb
or whatever.
I would bomb Iran into where their grandkids would be talking about it, and arm the people so they could have an uprising and take that country over.
Do you think President Trump would do that?
I hope so. Regime change.
Ooh.
I want a coup.
Ooh.
I want a smoky, loud, earth-shaking coup. I've wanted that since 1979, since I was a kid.